What's going on, guys, and welcome back to DSG. And in this video, it's going to be our monthly account review, and just to see the overall progress on the account and where things have gone since the last month. The account is now 426 days old. We started this account on May 29th, 2020, and now it's July 29th, 2021. So in those 14 months or 426 days, let's see where we've gone so far. First things first, we gotta look at our goals and our predictions for the last month, and that's how we do everything. That's our usual route with these videos, but I have changed a lot of slides, and I hopefully have improved things. And hopefully this makes more sense and it's clearer for you guys. And if you guys are new to this series and this to the channel and stuff, obviously you guys gotta like and subscribe as we go to our race to 1k. Once you hit 1k, I will do my beloved, not just kidding, my most hated video, a tier list video, because I absolutely hate every tier list video out there. So I will do my most hated video when the time comes in, well, I don't know when, but whenever we hit 1,000, I'm gonna do that video. This is just to kind of show you guys obviously progress and whatnot, and maybe one day you'll be able to hit these marks and just kind of keep track of, maybe you could be in the same realm as well. And I guess another side point there, this is a semi free to play account at this point, and I just like to do chapter offers, like to play all the free games, and I guess me gems as much as possible, and I do VIP. That's pretty much it. So anyways, number one here for predictions, we have the Herc Zeus raid, gear tier 9 Delta runes. In a way this kind of hit, because in terms of the Summoner Showdown, that is technically introducing us to Delta runes. I don't know exactly when we're going to get those runes usable and whatnot. Obviously when gear tier 9 comes around with the new raid, that's probably when they're going to come out. Number two here, which did not come to fruition, was the 1v1 club conquest, and honestly this is probably gonna get pushed out a long time. My guess is because of the delay with Summoner Showdown, and Sky High Fan kind of nudged me into this thinking. Probably gonna have a delayed raid. I was thinking probably gonna be the end of this month, obviously not, but it's probably gonna be the end of August, if not into September, mid-September. I was thinking, you know, the latest it could be is going to be like Labor Day, but the way how the things are looking, this could be an October release in all honesty, because just how things got delayed. And of course, the time of this recording, it's only been about an hour or so since DSA hasn't been able to go live with their freaking bug with Maleficent. And I must say, I'm gonna flash the reward here for those of you guys who don't know what the rewards look like. When I saw this reward for those who, you know, may not have just logged in at that time, or maybe were good boys or whatever you want to call it, this is a disgrace. This is an absolute failure on their part, and everyone should have gotten this because they just messed up on themselves, and they should have just owned up to it and said, hey, we messed up, now it's time for us to pay for it, and just given it to everyone, or just have given everyone the energy. Either way, I don't find, but this is an absolute disgrace, absolute outrage. This is even worse than the freaking Summoners Council, and that was given to people who freaking paid stuff in the game. So anyways, that's my little rant on there, just because we kind of got into the little debacle here. But last but not least here was going to be the UI overhaul, and that thing obviously did not come to the game, but probably, who knows, when the UI overhaul, because everything just seemed delayed in DSA at this point. So yes, I'm a little pissed off at Glue, because they were able to release Summoner Showdown pretty much flawlessly. Like, it was really good, and I'm really happy about that. Game mode, if you watch the podcast, we talked about it, the best thing that has come to DSA in so long, maybe the best thing ever to come to DSA. And that's really weird for me to say, because as a lot of you know, I absolutely hate PvP, but this is like the best thing they could do ever. But they managed to screw up with this freaking Maleficent BS. So anyways, to move on from there, let's look at our goals that we had for July of 2021. So for our goals, we're gonna be farming Esmeralda, Big Baby, Bo Peep, and then Buzz. We got actually everyone there, and actually we're not going to do Buzz. We're just going to kind of go with the characters we have under our belt right now, and we're actually doing pretty well. We just need to get the speed stones for everyone, and speed gear pieces, then we should be all good. But we're actually currently are farming Shank, so we're actually moving things pretty quickly, and was able to get everyone that I really needed to get for the Grand Campaign farms, which is I think a total bonus. Lead Battle farming Vanellope and Fix It Felix. They're still you know, in the route. Felix is, I think, is now like a 5-star Felix and a 4-star Vanellope. So they're soon to be a 6 and 7-star. Gonna be probably this month for sure. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get Ralph this time around, just because the gold and whatnot, etc. is kind of out there for me. And I'm not in a rush to get Ralph, so that's just kind of where my mindset is right now. Calhoun to Mordew. Well, obviously this kind of got mixed up a little bit, because now it's gonna be Calhoun to Tink, and then Mordew, just because, you know, I'm gonna get Tink because eventually one day I'm gonna want to get Peter Pan, so might as well get her right away as fast as we can. And Calhoun is going to be is done, and actually now we are on Mordew now, because Mordew is gonna be a wild tank for me. If I ever really needed a wild tank, there's Mordew. Summer score 320,000 because of the source, because of the Ascension campaign. This actually got blown out of the water because it leveled up so many characters and 7-star them and gear them and whatnot. We're actually at 334, 981. So we blew past this big time. In gear tier 8 we have Belle. In gear tier 8.5 Herc. We actually did not get it. Well, we didn't get the gear tier 8.5 Herc, but we got the speed piece for Herc, so it gives Herc a big boost, because once he has a speed piece, it's pretty solid, and he's a lot strong. He's a lot faster, obviously, and a little bit more, a little stronger too, because he gets all the bonuses from that speed piece as well. Now, the gear 8 Belle, she was not only the gear 8 character we got this month. We'll go through that for sure when we go into the actual game, from what I remember from last month to this month. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of the goals we had, and I would say it was a pretty good month. July was a great month for DSA on the account. A lot of building. It was a building month and kind of expansion month. I would say the drop rates have really helped. And what's great part of this, because of the whole debacle of Maleficent and stuff like that, I actually haven't farmed anything and whatnot in the game today, so you guys can get a little treat to kind of see what I do in a daily farm in DSA and whatnot. So we'll check that out in a second, but let's move on to, I guess I should show the account progress. Oh no, I'll go to the farming. We'll go to the farming plan, the gearing plan, and then do account progress, and I'm figuring out the order, obviously. But anyways, let's go to the farming plan now. There's really not much here for the farming plan, simply because we've pretty much gotten everyone that we essentially need. Everyone here is pretty much self-explanatory. We're gonna finish off Turbo or King Candy and Shank for Ralph eventually. Then we're gonna move on to finish off the Rapunzel characters, because we're gonna need them for the end of the wild section. Then we're gonna move on to Korra, and then got the princesses here, because eventually we will need them. And these princesses here with Pocahontas and Merida. Actually, I should probably switch them up. Probably should put Korra after them, because they're going to be more important. Then we still have Robin Hood, Shere Khan, and honestly, I finally feel like we're going to make progress into some characters that I didn't think I was going to go for a while, and I guess that while is now arriving to us. So we're going to get to some of the more mediocre characters in the game. That's the honest truth. Could help us in future Summoner Showdowns, but hey, they're here. I'm gonna try and get them and eventually gear them up and whatnot, and pretty happy about that, because I feel like I'm finally getting to even more of an end game in this game, which I think everyone wants to go to. But pretty much the top row is going to be the more important part. Even just like the first couple in that top row, everyone else that I think is essential is pretty much farm. Now I'm going to move on to probably my newest slide. So we were doing a gear 8 tracker and kind of saying who we're going to go for gear tier 8. I don't have that right now, just because there's no one exactly that I'm trying to bring up to gear tier 8, because a lot of the characters I'm trying to bring up are to gear tier 7, because that's been a big standard right now. and it's a lot easier to get to Gear Tier 7. And Gear Tier 7 is a little bit usable, you know, not exactly ideal, but it's at least a spot where they're not going to be unusable. So that's where I'm moving. I'm doing a big push to Gear Tier 7, and Gear Tier 8. I don't expect August to be a big Gear Tier 8 month, simply for the fact that a lot of the characters that I was going to Gear Tier 8 are Gear Tier 8ing, and I'm pushing a lot of characters towards getting them their speed pieces, like for Ascension. So that's kind of where I'm at right now at this point. And it'll take a lot to get them to Gear Tier 7, but a lot of the characters that we are going to get to Gear Tier 7, at least targeting for this month, are going to be characters that I'm going to be pushing to Gear Tier 8 probably in September. But anyways, looking here, you can see the first row and the second row, pretty self-explanatory. You guys can see we're going through mythicals, and we're to get was just Hades. That's where we're starting, just to get that Ascension campaign slot done, because we have Hercules, we have Pain and Panic. Might as well throw in Hades. Got Stitch and Bubbles. It's a pretty solid team. So that's kind of where I'm at with those guys. Then Triton, you know, I already have Ursula for a Little Mermaid character, and that's what you need for Ascension, and then Triton's there. Also for raids, raids is also in mind in here as well. Followed up by some princesses. We got Wilds plus Rapunzel, because Merida and Pocahontas, they're pretty solid together. You throw in Elsa in there, and then you have Maximus and Rapunzel. They're going to be pretty solid for that event. Sorry, the Ascension campaign, not event. So that's why I have them there. Then you have Calhoun and Quora for raids, and they're all Calhoun's also a double hitter because it's also for Wreck-It Ralph, but Calhoun's also going to be brought up to Gear Tier 8. And then we have Vanellope, Fix-It Felix, King Candy, and Shank. So we have all those guys ready for Ralph, and I don't really plan on getting them past, you know, Gear Tier 7. Most of them, maybe Vanellope at most. That's pretty much it. Then we have some Steamboat Meg here. That is a meme for this channel. If you guys have not watched any videos before, that's a meme for the channel. And we're definitely gonna bring that sucker up. Gear Tier 7, Gear Tier 8, maybe he could be my first Gear Tier 9. I'm just kidding. No, he's not gonna be my first Gear Tier 9 by any means. I do still think pretty smartly about this game, but it is a fun little addition to the game. But then moving after Steamboat, we have some Sensational 6, because my idea is to have Daisy, Minnie, and then Donald, Mickey, which are already Gear Tier 8, and then bring these guys up 7 and then 8 eventually, to help that Sensational 6 defense. And I also have Big Bad Wolf at Gear Tier 8, so that's, I think, it'd be a more solid team than some of the other Sensational 6 teams, and having that making friends idea there, I don't know, it's just an idea. So I'm gonna throw them in there and see how it kind of works, and see if the team is a viable one. Then trying to get Jafar, then finishing off the Moana Oceanics. Kind of probably shocked that I have like Wasabi and what's it called, Honey Lemon not a Gear Tier 7 yet, but yeah, I never pushed for it, and I guess now's the time, because they're not terrible characters, and a lot of the characters that I needed to Gear Tier up are already there, so might as well add these guys to the list. They have Frollo, because at least by that point I think I would have a much stronger star level Frollo, probably 6 at least, so probably gonna try and gear him up at that point too. I want Wally and Eve, so I need to gear up Gizmo and whatnot, so that's why he's here. And then I have Gantu, a bunch of other characters. Yeah, I don't need to talk about some of these guys in the corner down here. But Shere Khan seems like a fun one to bring up for Wilds. Yes, I do have the Rescue Rangers up here. You don't need Gadget exactly, but it's also going to help get with Amari and stuff. So I guess kind of hit 2 birds with 1 stone at this point. Then we have Mulan, going to cap off the princesses. So though I'm looking at this, maybe we should bump her up a little bit, but it's okay. Then we have Sheriff to cap it off. Obviously, I'm not going to get all these guys to Gear Tier 7 in the month of August. If anything, it's going to be the first 4 up there, maybe 5, just depending on how good the drop rates are and whatnot is for the droplets. So we just have to wait and see how droplets treat us and whatnot. But that's going to be a pretty consistent new slide that we have. It's kind of taking over the farming plan, because the farming plan is pretty self-explanatory. Like probably next month, once I farm most of the characters there, we're just going to kind of glance over it, because it's not as important anymore, because all the essentials have been taken care of at this point. So let's move over to some of the this other new sheet that I have. just a revamp of the gear tier 8 slide. But just kind of go over really where the account progress was. So June of 2021 at the end versus July 2021 at the end. Kind of like a quarterly review, but then more of like a monthly review for business. Gear tier 8 characters. We had a big jump. We went from 13 to 16 and gear tier 7, 9 to 11. But if you think about it, in order for me to get 3 more gear tier 8s, that means I had to bring up 5 total to have 11 gear tier 7s and 3 more gear tier 8s. So I actually had 5 gear tier 7s brought up in the month of July, which is more than 1 a week. And then I had the gear tier 8 tunes, and I attribute that obviously to the alternating double gear drops and also just the better drop rates and droplets overall. So thank you for that. And there was some good events this month as well. Moana gave out some good drops. That's still actually the only one I can remember, to be honest. So that's the only good one I can remember. Actually, the Lotso event I think was here too, so that kind of helped with giving out those gear pieces as well. So that was a nice one. But the summer score, I think, was the biggest jump. We like jumped 30,000 in this month, and again, that had to do with a lot of characters coming up to gear tier 7 and also starring them to 7 stars. The 7-star characters, we went from 70 to 73, so that's a lot. Well, that's not a lot, but you know, I count everyone. Like, even if they don't have the gold for them, as long as they have the tokens for them, I count them as characters for 7 stars, even though they're not technically 7 stars. But overall, that's I think the account is in a much stronger place, obviously, and of course, every month progress happens. There's another month of progress, another month of growth, and that's what I want to see for sure. So we're almost done with the slides. We're going to move on to predictions. There's not really much here. I just kind of think that hopefully the Zeus Herc raid in Gear 9 Deltrunes comes to the end of the month, and of course another non-legendary character release is probably what's going to happen by the end of the month. And here I have some pretty bold predictions, I think, for Grand Campaign farming. We're going to be able to clear through Shank, King Candy, get through Maximus. Maximus is actually already like pretty close to 6 stars, like, so he's gonna be a really fast one. And then Flynn Rider, we should be able to get him to 7 stars as well, or at least work towards him at the end of the month to be that next person in line. Elite Battle farming, Vanellope and Fix It Felix. I really think I can get Fix It Felix done and then expedite Vanellope with the extra attempts every day. Tourney farms, I think I can finish off Tink, and actually Mordew, because I already started farming before, I could potentially finish off Mordew and move on to Kronk pretty quickly. And our summoner score, you know, this whole thing for Ascension campaign, this push is really gonna crank up the summoner score again. So I did put a pretty high mark for basically another 25,000 summoner score added to my account this month. So 360,000 summoner score, and I think we're gonna hit level 76 this month. That's not really a goal, but just a prediction, really, honestly. Because I don't really care what level I am, because eventually you're going to get to it no matter what, as long as you keep on playing the game. Number 5 here, I think I'll be able to get more pieces for Herc, but really I'm going to be focusing on getting the speed pieces for other characters. Like, I want to get Ursa's speed piece, I want to get Beast's speed piece. Those are the pieces I want to get for these guys, so not too much of a focus on getting the gear tier 8.5 Herc, but it is possibly a goal. Gear tier 8 Triton, that's a big one for raids, because I think it's really going to help me in raids, so that's why I want to get in as quickly as possible to that gear tier 8 once I'm done with Hades for the Ascension campaign. I would also need Triton for the Ascension campaign, so it's kind of like hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. That's kind of what we're going for there. Then moving on, we have gear tier 7 Hades, Triton, Merida, Polka. So of course, if we get to gear tier 8 Triton, got to get it gear tier 8 Triton first. Then we have Hades, Merida, Polka, just kind of following that roadmap that we had earlier. But that's gonna be our goals for August of 2021. Here's the actual account. So yes, I was a bad person, and I got my Maleficent, but this can be rolled back anyway, so I'm not like really concerned. But there you can see the 1 speed piece for Herc. And I think some new additions, which you're going to see here, is we brought on 3 characters. So we got Shan Yu, Zerg, and I believe Belle was the other new addition to the Gear Tier 8 family. I was contemplating whether or not to bring Bubbles up, but it's not that big of a need. But maybe I got more raid focus, I could bring Bubbles up. Maybe once I get Triton stuff, that could be a push to get him there. But we have a lot more additions here to Gear Tier 7. We have a lot, so I think Esmeralda, Big Baby, Quasimodo, Chunk, and Bo Peep. Like I said, we got a lot of people that got to Gear Tier 7. So I think Quasi and Esmeralda actually were already part of the Gear Tier 7 troop. So maybe it was just Chunk, Bo Peep, Lotso, and Big Baby here. So we're rocking a 5-star Lotso, but we're gonna gear him up. Gonna get all the speed pieces out there. Probably bring their level up as well a little bit, spend some gold on them, but you know where it's at. We're trying to get through the Ascension campaign, and we got through 2 levels so far for Toy Story, so we're somewhat getting through it, so hanging in there. But the rest of the account, as you can see, we're starting to give some love to Hades, because Hades should have gotten level a long time ago, but he's just been sitting on the sidelines minding his own business. But yeah, that's kind of where these characters are at. I think that's the big players here, but you guys are kind of wondering what the rest of my characters here look like. Yep, this is kind of what it looks like. Nothing, I think, too crazy or impressive, but there's my buddy Miguel. Miguel, I love you. Now I'm gonna do some actual in-game farming in front of you guys, because I can see what it looks like. First, oh, of course, I don't know, since the new update, even before the Maleficent Gate, that whole thing has been a disaster. I always get quote-unquote disconnected from the server. Go to our favorites. I have my tracking sheet on the other screen here, but we're gonna start off with Shank, because Shank is the 3-star, or the Grand Campaign farm, so I buy 3 of these every day. And I mean, I've said that before, but just to clarify, so 53 attempts, 17, 53 and 17. So that's actually not that bad of a drop. I guess I do all at once, just because that's just how I do things. And I buy 4 of these every day, so I guess like my burn rate is what? We have 200, we have 300, until my burn rate is like 500 gems every day. And I try and recoup that through obviously watching my ads and whatnot. So that was. And also, Source Tournament. I got lazy in Source Tournament. I only get usually average 100 gems a day. I just get really lazy. Sometimes I hit it, sometimes I don't. It's not too big of a deal to me. And then we have Miss Penelope here. So Penelope was 3 for 8 today. So nothing, not too bad for Penelope. And then now we're gonna go to Fix It Felix. So Fix It Felix, 72 energy. Wow, pretty piss poor. Only 2 so far. So 4 for. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I've actually gotten 4 out of 4. On one of the attempts for Felix, and I get 2 and 2. So sometimes I have gotten 8 Fix It Felix tokens in a day, which I thought was pretty freaking awesome. But now that I have all this extra energy, I kind of analyze, where's the account at as well every day. My gearing, yes, it's focused on Hades. Hades kind of more of a passive one, because I need to get through Ascension campaign. So I look through all my downtown, my Toy Story villains, and I'm like, okay, what do I need for these guys? So he's almost done there. I need stuff for Chunk, but I need stuff for Big Baby. So I need to get a couple of these going. So Big Baby has a speed piece here, which isn't too bad, and that's the only speed piece Big Baby has. So I have to kind of do some passive elimination. So I'd rather get Big Baby a speed piece, because Big Baby does a lot of good damage when Big Baby gets things done. So I'm just gonna keep on adding to my barbed wire farm here for these guys. So there we go, just one shot, 8 for 22. I think that's pretty good for these ones. Could be worse, so I'll take that. But that's kind of just to show you guys what goes through my mind every day, and how I'm doing in the account. But that's going to be it for this account review. Probably a little bit longer of an account review. So thank you guys for watching. I hope it made sense to you guys. If you guys want any questions answered or want any help in the game, you guys are always feel free to message me. But thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.